4 years of film school, bachelor's degree, out the door when it comes to Baahubali. I am amazed and shocked, and I'm so surprised that I did not know about the existence of this film until last week. Wow. What am I, living under a rock? Mm-hmm. My life has changed. I've converted to the religion of Baahubali and SS Rajamouli. And now you will too.
And it's apparent in our studio as well, like the pictures you brought and the culture that you brought to our studio because of this.
Revolutionized film industry, my heart, my soul, and movies forever.
Eyes opened. Now you have some revelations. The third eye is like the chakras are like popping, all of them.
Yes, and the music is swelling in my mind. The action is right in my heart. I remember everything, and I keep getting flashbacks. I can't even sleep at night. Like I just see
you got PTSD.
This image, and the rocks are going up in the air as people start revolting, and Amarendra Baahubali is coming back to take control.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be like a representative of all of our pals and say that you're an honorary, like, literally Indian. That's a big claim. But seriously, if you knew, she watched Baahubali 2 this week 3 times. That's a 3-hour movie.
I was committed only because it's a great movie.
Listening to the music all the time.
And so here we are talking about this incredible film, Baahubali, with my pal Anna.
And my pal, Maral.
And you pals who recommended this film. Thank you so much. Oh, my life, it will never be the same, for real.
Rajamouli is like... God, he's the Baahubali level director.
Exactly. And you know, I think his name also means some kind of king. Raj,
yes. I totally believe that. Did you realize, like, at the end of the movie, his stamp was on the last scene?
I love those stamps.
Like, that was a king stamp. Rajamouli film.
He does that with every film.
Really?
It's so beautiful. Every director should do that, but like he owns it. And then a lot of his movies end with a dance number. So, you know, RRR, for example, the actors and the director himself are dancing. He did that with Iga too, his movie about the fly.
Oh God, yeah.
The fly is dancing.
Damn.
So at the end, the fly is
like
yes, for real. The fly is like, he's got the little cane of fire, and he's like, I am back. I was Nani, and now I'm a fly. And he's singing and dancing, and there's like a bunch of flies behind him dancing. Whoa. This guy, he's so cool. He's so good. He's so great.
Guys, if you haven't checked out our video about Baahubali 1, go check that out. Actually, Maral recommended this movie, Iga, that week.
And we should do a whole episode on Iga. Iga is about this fly who comes back to take revenge on a bad guy who stole his wife in a previous life.
Oh, damn. The reincarnated fly.
A fly who used to be a man. This really cute guy named Nani.
Is he like a fruit fly or like a...
He's like a house fly. A regular house fly with great skills. And he's working out in the movie, so we see him like gain skills. What a film!
Yeah.
Iga
and muscles
great music.
And everything.
And he also has a love interest, a female love interest. This is a great film. Seriously, that's our next watch.
Yeah.
Maybe
with Rajamouli, nothing is impossible. Seriously, like his mind is crazy. Like, it's so fantastical. And did you see, like, I realized the scale of his imagination when I was watching that scene in Baahubali 2 when they're singing about their love. They're on the ship.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy. What? It's so good. They're flying with their ship, with their swan ship on there. Like, what's happening? And then what else? Like, when they're on the, it's like they're on the palm tree. They're like shot in the, oh my God, in the castle.
And you even believe
that. Like, I do that every time I go there.
They suddenly become a whole spaceship, and it's like the soldiers who are gonna jump over a tree to fly into the castle. Right. But like the speed at which they jump over is actually, it's not normal. Like, they just go and then they handle themselves and they sit back.
And they become a circle like that, and they like kind of collect themselves. Like,
I know. They kind of look like a bug. You know those bugs that get bigger and smaller? And even though that's the craziest part, still you almost buy it. Like, you see the first, like one group just hits the wall and they all die. That's sad, but it happens. And then each group that comes, they get better at the landing. So eventually they're like standing up, and you buy that. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like that almost made me want to stop watching because that's so weird.
But the thing is, like, I buy it because it's not even supposed to be realistic. It's a mythical story. So it's like, it's supposed to be all dragons and, you know, Seymour and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh my God.
Exactly. It's supposed to be so much larger than life.
Yeah.
And this one is even grander than part one because you know the things that happen in part one. I mean, a woman swims with underwater, you know, her lungs, breathing somehow, and carries a baby for hours. Mm-hmm. And then there's a man who climbs a waterfall in the air, flying, throwing arrows. We've already seen those, and now they have to top those. So what are they gonna do? They've got to have a flying ship.
That's true. But like, I still believe Bahubali 1 is the best one.
That's such a claim that you have. Bahubali 2 is incredibly so much better.
Okay, Bahubali 2 is boring. It's like
how
the timeline. Okay.
How dare you?
I will prove my knife is coming. We have to fight with each other. Yes,
I will fight about it.
The thing is, Bahubali 2 is like a linear timeline. It goes through everything like based on time, and then you don't even get to see like the present time and Bahubali the second. Mm-hmm. Until like 2/3 into the movie, right?
But the first movie though was all about Bahubali the second. So why do you need to see it again? You already saw his love story. You already saw him like meet his uncle, save his mama. He did everything.
You know what they could have showed in Bahubali 2 was him kind of like having fear, you know? So he hears the story, he's trying to process it. He's like, oh my God, how do I do this? No, I'm not a god. I'm not like my dad. Or like, exactly. I can't defeat this uncle of mine or something like that. We didn't have anything like that. Bahubali 2 didn't have any character development whatsoever. Bahubali the second, right?
I know. I'm upset that
you're still upset about that.
Super.
That's the thing, like, this man just was angry after hearing that and tried to like do this. I know that works with the whole thing, but it would have been good to also see some
I agree with you. I actually noted that down too. This guy, Amarendra, something like this. Bahubali the second, he gets to hear all the story about how his mother was captured, his father was killed, and his family was brought down in the worst ways. Yeah. And his first reaction is, okay, I'm going to go and get revenge. And I wrote down, like, if I was there, my first reaction would be like, I think I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Like, let me go to the gym for a while. Let me write down my goals, like figure out what I'm going to do. Yeah. This guy had no...
Climb some, I don't know, some waterfalls or like do something like that. I've been obsessed with that.
Exactly. Go back to climbing my waterfalls. I already saved my mom. Like, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
And his first thought is, I will go sacrifice my life to set this country free. So I agree. Like that was very quick. But that's because this is not the story of Bahubali the second at all.
Yeah.
This is the story of Bahubali, the name of the movie, namesake. This is the legend who was already killed, who we barely heard about in the first film. And now we get to see his love and life and experience the myth that was his existence.
That's true. But Bahubali number 1 explores both Bahubalis, so it's really interesting. And you don't know the world, you don't know the characters, and back to back, every scene is like a dopamine hit. You know, you go through different timelines, you go here, you try to figure out what is going on. Why are there 2 Bahubalis? What is this guy doing? Like, you're trying, it's like a mystery to you. So you're trying to figure it out as you're going. That's why I think Bahubali 1 was much more interesting and the best Bahubali.
Bahubali 1, it does a great job of building the world and characters.
Right.
And then, so when you go into Bahubali 2, if you like these guys, you're going to get so much out of it.
That's true.
Because it shows them in such a more deeper emotional level.
Yeah.
Where, like, it starts with the mother and son relationship. That like, this fucking woman is gonna walk through fire and water and everything, and then the sun is gonna come. He is a guy who can stop elephants from coming to attack. He's a guy who can stop the devil himself from coming.
Crazy scenes.
Crazy scenes. And then it goes right into the what's it called, like the enemies
Yeah.
point of view, that's so strong.
That's good. That's so good.
If a movie has a good enemy in it, then it's so much better. So what we see is like this man who was not given the kingdom, this old guy with a crippled hand.
Yeah.
They gave the kingdom to his brother, and now 20 years later
Again,
he has a
his
son, and they're not giving the kingdom to his son, and he is so upset. He's talking about how he decided to kill his wife many times because his wife would nurse another child instead of nursing this boy right here. And so we're seeing his emotional side, and he is powerful too. He breaks a wall. You see this old crippled guy, like he could have been king, but they took it away from him. And he's bubbling with fear. And even though he is almost right, like there's many ways in which he's right. His wife wasn't giving enough love to their child.
Yeah.
Still, his son is kind of a good guy in that scene because this old man says, we should have killed your mother. And the son says, Father, you've been drinking too much. This is a horrible thing to say. And how are you're actually on the side of the villain, not on the side.
Okay, this is probably controversial between other people, like our viewers, but not for us. We're on the villain side, at least in the beginning, and at least in Bahubali 1. Like when we watched that, like this guy has been mistreated all his life. Don't you think? Like whoever was in his position, that person would have had these resentments.
Yeah, he's always been the second.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to get his mother's affection or
all.
the world. The world looks down on him. You don't deserve the throne. Bahubali, we love him. We worship him.
You know what
You're
is
nothing.
like? It's like Megamind, you know, that
Yeah,
one?
that's exactly.
Like one person is like the hero. He's always been the hero. He was born to be a hero. Everybody praises him, whatever he does, even if he does wrong. And the other one is like a Megamind, like he comes up with these plans and does all of these things. And he wants to be a good guy, but he's never recognized as that. So that's what it is. I'm always on the side of these people.
That's a way more real character.
Yeah.
Every day I have struggles where I'm like, oh, you're acting like Bhalla. Please don't do that. Like, don't you want to be like Bahubali? Put away the jealousy. And so he's a real guy, and he is supposed to be the hated guy.
And
so
he's supposed to be the representative of all the viewers. Like that's a human, right? That's a human, and you see yourself in that person, the jealousy, all those bad qualities and everything, because all of us have that. And then you're like, and you also see this example of all the goodness, which some people have some of the qualities, but not all of it. But this Bahubali guy, he has all of it, and he's like the symbol of that. So you see yourself in this man, and you see like how he goes about his life and what decisions he makes. You kind of like resonate at times, but you also see the consequence of his action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is more than anything a fable about what happens if you get like mistreat people. Is you will get a knife into your knees, you will burn at the stake, even if you were king.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. And it's beautiful like this. Like how meaningful is that Shiva, Mahendra, he was climbing the mountain in the first film, and then in this one, the statue of the king falls down the same mountain back to level 0. And kind of chaos is back, fixed up. And order returns. Just shows like karma will follow you everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you get to.
I love that. The whole statue thing was a symbol from the first movie until here. It was his huge ego, It was so big, but it was always overshadowed by Bahubali. And he tried to do that to establish himself. He tried to have that statue to show that I'm the king and I'm this powerful golden guy. Even though like Bahubali was the son, but he's trying to have this golden statue to show, I am as shiny, as golden as Bahubali. But at the end, we see this guy's head is cut off. The statue is cut off, and it's going down this river just like that.
So beautiful. The statue flies over the father's head, so the father gets to watch this golden kind of creation that he was trying to get destroyed. And he even breaks the statue himself. That's so beautiful. He keeps hitting Mahendra into the statue until the stones all break and the statue falls. So that's he himself did that to his own life.
I didn't even realize. Oh my God, that's true. knew
So crazy.
he was the destroyer of, because like he was always in everybody's ear trying to just spread these bad things and negative things, you know. In his son's ear he would always say that, and then the queen's as well.
I know, what a loser. Why did you marry him?
Rotten.
Even Shivagami, you could have done so much better. Go get somebody else.
Right.
Even Mahendra brings up the statue in the first movie. When it's about to fall, he is the one who pulls it up all on his own. So what a guy. What a good man.
That's true.
Let's be more like him.
That's right. But now, are you saying that you are on the side of the queen? Like, that's kind of the sense I'm getting.
The queen, she was my favorite character for a long time because we started the first movie with her.
Yeah.
She has an arrow in her back. She's carrying the child and she sacrifices her life for this child. So she's the ultimate good person in my mind. And then we get to see throughout that she was a great ruler. Oh my God, she's a woman and she's a great ruler. Like, what a role model.
Yeah,
I love
but
that.
Obviously, when that's the case, the family life is in shambles.
Exactly. That's so real, yeah. So I'm glad they showed that. So she's a great ruler. And then she's grown up these two kids who are now against each other because she loved one more. But what I love is that we start the second one again showing how great of a ruler she is. Yeah. So apparently this is a custom that they had at the time is every 26 years, the daughter-in-law of the king would walk 30 miles barefoot with fire over her head.
Oh my God.
And she can't stop and she can't falter, even if she will die in the process.
Okay, I have some things to say.
Okay, go ahead.
That's literally what I'm trying and striving for every day when I'm walking on the sidewalks. I'm like, I'm not yielding to anyone. I'm just gonna go. And I'm like that too. No, I'm kidding. I'm not like that. I always yield to everybody else. Oh my God. I always try to go like straight to everybody, but I'm always the one that has to like back down. What is it? Like, I'm really trying to fight this quality. It's so fucking bad.
That is so bad. You should just stand your ground and let them
just
hit
walk
you.
through and like bump shoulders and stuff like that.
Dang. That's the next step for you.
Yeah.
I also try and do that. Like, you have to make eye contact and assert dominance, and then they will walk out.
God, I try to do that with cars. I try to do that with everything. But like
with cars, okay, don't do that.
I know, right? Cars is like off limits. But usually when I'm like on bike, it's like, again, it's different. So it's like a game all the time. Like this yielding power, it's just crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I learned from this movie.
I'm glad.
No backing down. Never back down. Never what?
Yes, never give up.
No.
This is true. Especially if you put a coal fire over your head, that would actually work probably.
That's true. Yeah.
And go barefoot. People will yield
right,
that situation.
Look straight ahead, dead on. Like.
So that's so beautiful. Like, just in terms of filmmaking, they show the queen is in the streets sweating. Yeah. A queen doesn't have to do that. She could just sit on the throne all day.
Right.
And she's got the coal and she's got the bleeding feet, and they show the bleeding feet. I love that they show the subjects of the country be so loving towards this queen. Like, they're throwing flowers under her foot. So this way you love her, and also you love her because of her looks. Like, she just looks lovingly at the sun and kind of approvingly and does the head nod thing. And he's sick. I mean, she's sick. He's taking care of her.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Bhalla during that sitch?
Okay.
Bhalla, if you took care of your mother, you would not be in this situation right now.
But also it's a loop, right? Mom never took care of him. So he's like, he doesn't have that attachment. And he's like, why would I do that? Like, she doesn't even want me.
Exactly.
And then mom is like, oh, he doesn't take care of me, but Baahubali is the one that takes care of me. So more affection to Baahubali.
I know,
so that's
right?
the way it goes. So the story goes like this. And okay, this is what I came up with, or like my reaction to this part. She is a crazy boy mom. I hate boy moms so much.
Boy moms are real. And they're horrible.
It's real. It's so horrible. I would rather, right, drink 5,000 cans of Red Bull and stand in front of 5,000 fiery balls that come straight to me than become a boy mom.
Whoa.
Like, seriously. Do you understand?
That's so specific. How did you come up with that equation?
Oh, it's because of the balls I saw in the movie.
Okay.
There's so many fiery ones. The thing is, like, these crazy boy moms, they're... Okay, here's how you make a boy mom. You don't pay attention as a husband to your wife and don't give the attention and affection to her. Therefore, she goes and seeks that affection in her son.
Wow.
What in Freud? What in Freud? Every day I prove this man right. And I hate to do that. No, I love Freud. I love him.
That's so interesting. What a great theory.
Yeah.
So that's how boy moms are made.
And she was proving this throughout. Go watch the movie again. And I'm sure, like, if you remember it, you know that's the way it goes. Like,
She never had a girl, though, in her defense. So how could she be a boy mom?
You could have boys and not be a crazy boy mom. Like, you know those kind of moms that are like, oh, my son is that, and they don't want any daughter-in-law for the son. They're protective of him. Whoever he goes out with, they want to choose the bride. Or better yet, they don't even want her and want him to get out of the house and, like, find the bride. They always get in fight with the bride. Oh my God.
She was getting in so many fights with that bride. And the bride was exactly like her. So that was so sad. Like, just accept her and love her. Boy moms are real. And I know this because my mother is a boy mom.
My
Tragic.
mother too. That's why I know
what
I
happened?
hate it.
I came out of my brother's room and my mom thought I was my brother. And my mom was like, my dear son, you woke up. And then she made eye contact with me. And she was like, oh, you're not him. And I was like, I am not. You were wrong. But in that moment, I realized it's not good to be a boy and have a boy mom because such a pressure on you. Like, every time you wake up, this woman is like, my light of my life, you're awake.
But, like, think about it this way. Even if you do wrong, they're going to forgive you.
Yeah.
Which
is terrible, right? Because they will teach you bad manners.
Yeah, your character wouldn't develop. That's the thing. These kind of moms don't allow their boy's character, their son's character to develop. So they don't become men, real men.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that? Is it
It's
just
usually
the
the
Middle
same.
Eastern
I think
nurse?
so. It's
Clearly
some
it's also
Asian
Indian.
thing. Yeah, it's definitely an Asian thing, but mostly South, Middle Eastern Asian kind of part.
It's silly because why? Like, what is wrong with girls? And can't you just give regular affection to both? What's wrong with you?
Listen, I've grown up with these kind of people all my life. My grandmother was like that. My great grandmother was probably like that, and great.
Yeah, exactly.
All of them were crazy. Even though they didn't have any rights, they would just shower the freaking boy with all the affection. My mom talks about, like, her stories of, like, how her brothers were treated all the time. They would get all the food, they would get all the attention, and the girls were there just to work for them.
That's horrible.
To just endure abuse and shit like that.
I know. At the same time, though, as you say, it builds character. So then you have all these women who come from boy mom families who are so strong. They start podcasts. And then there's the boys who are like, I don't know, probably playing games right now.
But it's like all traumas. Fucking traumas all building up like that. But
so real.
And don't you think that this woman, Devasena, is gonna become a boy mom too? Fucking.
You think?
Yeah, she's already there.
But Devasena is such a strong woman herself. She's a warrior. She loves
But
to...
she already is, like, crazy about Baahubali again. And isn't it crazy, guys? Like, just think about this for a moment. Your son looks exactly like your lover. Fuck.
That's hard.
That's hard. What in hell?
And they look the same age. That's hard.
That's horrible.
And you're aging, but they're not.
oh my god.
That's so
Oh
cool.
my god. Oh my god. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I could handle that.
Yeah.
If my son looked like my husband.
Oh hell no.
So I get it. Like, maybe that's why they have such a love for them.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, Baahubali 3 is gonna be
There
her
better
becoming
be.
a
Yeah. No, I
her
know.
becoming a crazy boy mom and then, like, treating that other girl so badly.
It could be a cycle. She was treated so bad by the Queen Mother. I'm
Yeah.
sure as the Queen Mother, she wouldn't treat people that nice either.
Exactly.
It's a cycle of abuse. But also, I see her as she will be hard on her daughter, but she will like give some deep affection to, because she's the kind of woman who doesn't say what's on her mind, like her deep she doesn't say I love you Bahubali ever, but it's clear through like she prays for him, she like thinks about him and everything. So I think if she had a daughter, she would like grow her right.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So that's Bahubali 3 for you.
I see. I loved her character so much. Like and it was so consistent throughout the movie, because like, as you say again, she's not the type of woman that would like express her feelings.
Yeah, her affections, definitely.
Her affections directly, yes, to Bahubali or anybody else really. And she goes behind, like she goes to the temple and sings and prays for him, or like does that behind the scenes and never straight to his face.
And she has such a proud personality,
yeah.
which normally I would say, oh, that's your big ego, but she actually handles herself so right. Like it's like she respects herself, and so she will like not kneel to anyone, not even the queen. She will speak her mind.
Yeah.
What a strong character. And we judge Rajamouli. We say you don't write good female characters. Okay, I take that back.
I know.
This movie had 2 insane women.
Yeah.
Shivagami and
yeah,
Devasena.
it was just the RRR, and that's because the theme was different. But here, his focus is mostly on characters and the good, like bad, good and evil themes and stuff like this. So
yeah, I think he's growing as a director, and he's like putting his sexist past behind, because there's another movie he made. Not sexist.
RRR is after.
Yeah, you're
this,
right.
So,
but RRR, yeah, I guess there's.
So
like,
he's gaining more power. So he's putting.
He's going back to the
sexism.
system.
Let's bring that.
I know.
All my bad things. Yeah.
Well, when I think about it, really, the Fly movie and Bahubali are the only ones that have like great female characters. Because there's another one he made called Maghadira, who stars your favorite actor.
Who?
Ram Charan from RRR. The beautiful doe-eyed, gorgeous hair flowing, the mustache. Yeah.
Still?
Beard. Yes. Okay. Young 2009 era. And this is about him. He used to be a warrior. He got killed because of his love for the queen. He sacrificed it. Him and the queen died, and now 400 years later, he has been reincarnated as a motorcycle rider. What? And his wife, his lover, queen, has been reincarnated as a university student.
What?
And so
that's so random.
It's so random. And when he is going to leave the country after doing one motorcycle ride, he accidentally touches hands with this woman, and then sparkles fly, and he says, this is my destiny, I can't live without the woman. He spends the rest of the movie going after the woman, and then we keep getting flashbacks to their previous love.
God damn.
And then there's another guy who was reincarnated. He's the king's son. He also wanted her, and in a previous life, this guy Ramcharan killed him. But now he's back with a big vengeance, and he's a super rich guy now. And so they have to fight over this woman. And the woman is like so useless. She's just cute and does nothing, like literally a princess. And she's just standing there like, buy me everything. I'm bringing my friends out. Purchase me. Purchase everything for me.
It's the Ram Charan effect.
True. When you're near him, we're just like, okay, take care of everything. I'm out. And then like, the things this guy does, he becomes a godlike warrior, and he's fighting 100 men. This movie shows him kill 100 men in one shot.
Is it in present time again as a motorcycle?
In present time, yeah. But he's like he knows now that he was Bhairava, this warrior who was killed. And then he gains his life once again in the present time. In the past time, the lovers never got to touch hands. The queen was killed. She fell down the mountain, and she said, like before she died, she said, come profess your love to me now, at least so we could be in the next life together. As he was going to grab her hand, she died and fell off the mountain. He jumped off the mountain.
Just to touch.
Yes, just swam to her. And then their hands never touched. And he was shocked and saddened, and then he died.
Bro.
That's so good.
It just shows Rajamouli's obsession with spirituality and reincarnation and this concept in general.
Exactly. So many concepts keep coming back. He loves warriors. He loves crazy strong men who fight for love.
Yeah.
reincarnation.
He especially likes it when at the end they kind of come to their accept the fact that they are like immortal and they are these warriors that are just amazing. Like in RRR, Bahubali, and this one as well, as you describe it.
I love that. It's always about men who then turn into gods, pretty much. And I love that. I'm so obsessed.
And he is this man as well. He is turning into this. On August the 2nd, this Netflix documentary of Rajamouli came out.
A whole journey into what kind of filmmaker he is, behind the scenes of how he made the films, his family talking about the kind of man he is. And now I realize he is a god among men. He's a director who will never be topped, for real. Yeah. Like, I'm so shocked that he exists. We could never get to his level. You know, last week, like a few weeks back, we were talking about Jaws. Yeah. And then we were saying, look how much Rajamouli loves Jaws. Isn't that amazing? And now I'm seeing these Rajamouli visuals and I'm like, Jaws who? Jaws what? Even though Jaws is my favorite.
Jaws is like some water. You know,
I know.
It doesn't have any base.
Even though. Like, okay, just imagine what we're saying to you. Yeah. Because
foundation, you know?
I know. And literally Jaws is one of the greatest movies ever made. And so just imagine how much higher this guy is. Like, his visuals actually get into your mind like in a different way than anything else. For example, RRR, this guy is jumping out and there's all the jungle animals jumping out with him.
Yeah.
There's not another movie you'll ever see that has that kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. That's a signature actually of that movie too.
Exactly. So it's so unique and so much better than American cinema.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this man just comes up with new things to put in his worlds, the settings of his stories that you've never seen ever before. How is this possible? How does he come up with that?
Like, he writes with his father. We know this much.
Yes.
But how does his father come up with that?
Yeah. The thing is, like, okay, in the battle scene, like, I was so shocked. Because we already seen so many battles in Bahubali 1, Bahubali even 2. But, like, the last battle, it's like, again, he never disappoints. He comes up with new ways to kill the characters, to, like, come up with new strategies to do that. And not only this, okay, let's even forget the battles, okay? Just Bahubali 2, what I loved so much about it was the political plot of it. Oh my God, are you kidding me? At every turn, they would betray each other, backstab. You could never guess what the next movie is gonna be. It was so intriguing. Like, at every point, they would find a way, like the evil characters, to like beat this Bahubali guy. And you were shocked at every time, like at every turn.
Exactly. It's like a magic trick. Literally, it's like the perfect mix of emotions versus action versus like this political intrigue that you can never look away. Like, it keeps going bigger somehow. And it also keeps getting more emotional. Like, how can you sustain this for 3 hours?
I think how he comes up with that is that he doesn't he shuts his judgment when he's like coming up with the story, because we all have this quality. We can come up with these things. It's actually, let's not just put it on him, like make him a god actually.
Exactly.
Right? So the thing that we do is that we shut ourselves. We're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't have any logic at all.
Exactly. That's so true. Yeah. And
but
it's like he's free to exactly choose what is in his imagination, even if it's silly.
Even if it's silly, he's like, okay, that could work. Yeah, let's go even higher.
Yeah.
And then, he doesn't shut it up, and that's why it works. So
I think so too. And I always judge Anna because her ideas are out there. And I'm like, okay, this one is no, makes sense. And now I'm thinking, maybe I'm super wrong. Like, this is how probably Rajamouli came up with it. And he's decided to go down this path of revolutionary movies, mythical. So he is not making the same kind of films that a realist director would make. But like, the choices are really working for him. Like, the films are absolutely legendary and some of the best I've ever seen, ever. Yeah. So maybe you should shut off your judgment and just go exactly what your heart desires.
Yeah, instead of, I don't know, realism, it's not always like, I think we have it in our mind that everybody likes that and that's like the praise, the form of art. But when you see that there's this much audience, this amount of like people that love these kind of imagination, this fantasy, you give yourself the license to go and pursue something like that as well. It actually really encouraged me to do that. Like, to not write my stories actually 100% based on reality, historical accuracy, and shit like this.
Yeah. There's a good quote by director David Lynch. He says, I don't know why people expect movies to be real, to make sense.
Yeah.
They accept that life doesn't make sense, but they want movies to make sense.
Right.
How is that fair? So I now subscribe to this as well. Fantasy is so great compared to reality. Real movies now don't even get my attention that much compared to this world.
And, you know, I always love this kind of like political things as well when it comes to these movies. And I was first introduced to these kind of grand historical fantasy movies, TV shows, when, you know, these K-drama historical things came out. Exactly. Especially in Iran, they would like come out like Jumung or something like that. I don't know how you say it in English or something. And they were crazy, okay? They would come up with these plots that were so like, oh my God, it was like a chess game. Like, always playing like the prime minister, the ministers would like plot against like the king, and the king had to find allies. And all the time there was just this push and pull and things like this. And it would never cease. And now I saw this in this Baahubali movie as well. And I love it. It's just like this childhood in me, you know, that is like craving this and is like loving that.
Exactly. This specific genre, which is historical and really politically heavy and like a chess game. Yeah. And then fantasy related and like really deeply emotional. So like you love the characters and their families. That combination will always work.
Right.
You can never get enough of that. Like, we would watch this TV show, Korean TV show, as you say. This was like hundreds of episodes, thousands of hours. And every Iranian family
everybody's watching it. Everybody's talking about it when they're gathering together. It was insane. It was such an era, you know, of itself. People would discuss that all the time when they got together. Like, did you watch that?
That's so beautiful.
No, I missed that. Oh my God, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Insane. And now I saw it here. And I like the Indian version much better. And I will tell you why. Because of the emotions it shows. The huge emotions that it's like a storm that comes to you.
Exactly. I mean, just think about the first 3 minutes of this movie. That's the statues. So I'm watching with my father and he says...
Oh, you watched the second one too?
Yes. And so talking about realism, he was kind of like mocking this genre. He's saying, look, the way these people make the movies, you would think these characters are real. Like, you would even believe it. And I was like, just wait just let's watch the whole thing. And immediately it starts with these huge statues that commemorate the moments of the previous film. And my dad was like, are these statues real? Is this from real life? And I was like, okay, you already fell. It's like 1 minute in. But it starts with the most gorgeous images that I just had to write it down even. So it's first image of this film is a woman drowning, holding up a child. And that woman is the queen. She's drowning to save this child. Like, how much more emotional can you get with any story? Next is Shiva, Mahendra, mid-flight, off a mountain with an arrow going towards his destiny, which is this woman. Like, you could cry just with that 1 second shot. Next one is Shiva's mother, who is like chained and burning on the skin, and her statue is made of stone that's like crumbling, and she's putting fire to kill the oppressor eventually. Next up is the oppressor. He's fighting this oxen that's like 10 times big as him. So now you see the other side, like, okay, they have a real good competition too. How are they going to beat this guy? Next up, we see the oppressor's son is cut off by Mahendra. So now the oppressor is fucking going to be upset too. Like, that's his son. And they're again balanced. Next up, you see the complete loyalty of Kattapa to Mahendra by putting his head under these, again, another statue. And then lastly, you see Kattapa killing Bahubali with backstabbing motion when it's fires behind them. Like, that's how the movie starts, just 2 minutes in. That's so strong. Watch the first 2 minutes. Do yourself a favor.
It's crazy. You're right. Like, at every turn, you're just hit with these huge emotional things. Like, each movie, usually like the movies that we watch, if they do really good, they would have one of these things.
Yeah.
But usually it's not even that like emotional. It's never gonna be like a mother carrying the child in a river, or like a man backstabbing someone when the fires are coming.
I know.
No, that's not gonna happen. But this movie has that. Like,
back to back to back.
These are like the points that it hits, just like that, milestones every turn. Whoa. And this movie, as you say, starts, and you know, that scene of Kattapa backstabbing this Bahubali is something that is like engraved in your mind when you watch the first movie. So you start the second movie with that in mind, and you're like, oh, how did he do this? That was a huge plot twist in the first Bahubali. And then you go in this, you are convinced, at least I was, that I'm gonna hate this man. Kattapa is evil. How could he do this? How is he going to even justify that? What is his excuse? But somehow you get convinced so well that it's like when Bahubali the second calls him grandfather, you're like, yeah, that's a good man. Yeah. Exactly. How does this happen?
Somehow they make you connect to even the worst of the guys. So that's his strength. He shows, especially you like Kattapa because he keeps saying, I am a slave, I can't do anything. You call me father, you call me uncle, and he starts crying. So you kind of see like
he's
he is
a snake too.
He is a little bit of a snake. Like, did you see how he is acting when they're trying to act like dummies?
Right.
Like, he knew what he was doing, clearly.
That's true. You know how it is, though. I think how they did it is that they made him, as you say, goofy and funny and so silly in the beginning of the movie. In this movie, you laugh a lot in the first half. Like, it was so funny at every turn. It was seriously freaking funny. The characters were kind of like absurd, but like it was so obvious that it was intentional. Like, they wanted to make them like this silly guys that just are having fun there, or like they're not even aware of what they're doing and how it is funny to other people.
Exactly. And I love that story-wise because that was before this guy became king, Bhalla. When he became king, everything was ruined. The whole country is in shambles. They're upset. So it kind of shows like before that, people were happy and joking around and smiling. That's good to show. And then also, of course, for audience, it's great to laugh.
Yeah.
The funniest character was Kumar. You know,
oh
Kumar
my God,
Varma.
yeah, he was the best.
What an arc he has as well. How emotional. It's crazy because he starts out as this like fake ass. He doesn't know how to hold a sword, and he's acting like he's going to teach Bahubali how to wield a sword.
Oh my God.
And they're just beautifully shot. They show his close-ups of his face. Like, his face is perfect, the way he acts. And then he tries and fails, and later Bahubali accidentally like Bahubali just sees this lady and so distracted he breaks the wood, and then later on Kumar is practicing in his room like, how did I break the wood before? Oh, where's the piece of wood? And so this man goes from complete goofhead to Bahubali gives him a sword and says, men are made in battle, you gotta prove yourself. And wow, what a moment. He immediately, as soon as the sword is given to him, he gets cut in front of him.
I was like,
and then
he's done.
Cut in the back, And I loved seeing that because we haven't seen this in Bahubali at all. Everyone is kind of strong to an extent. And so we haven't seen what a real guy would be like. A real guy would get cut immediately.
Yeah.
And then when this guy is bleeding and about to die, that's when he realizes, I better fight. Like, my life has been a lie up to this point. And then he becomes a fighter. That's the greatest turn of for a character ever. Like that was so
Yeah.
moving for me.
The
see.
courage. But also at the same time when I was watching that scene, I was like, Bahubali is such a bad friend. You're coming there all the way. You're running there, right? All the women are there. It's just one man. And you dumbass, you give just one not even a real sword. It's a baby sword. You give a baby sword to this man that is like disabled practically.
Yeah. And then you leave.
And you just give like a wise quote, you know, real men are made in the war, something like that. And then you leave like that?
What the fuck?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's true. In his defense, there was 100,000 people outside who needed to be killed. But I get it. Yeah, that's so lucky that Kumar ended up being able to kill.
And you know what that is, though? It's like a sort of dopamine kind of thing.
Exactly.
When you are like playing a sport, there's a point that you hit that you could do anything. Like I've even heard of this story of this woman, what is it, lifting up a car just because her son was like under it. It's like one moment that your brain just gives this energy to you. And it's just for a few seconds or minutes, but then you have that. You have this superhuman kind of energy.
So that's exactly what happened to him.
Yeah, that's what happened here.
When he was about to die, he got up and started to fight. And it also got rid of his fear because I'm already dead. I might as well wield my sword now because I'm going to die either way.
It just shows courage. So I loved, as you say, his character development.
Yes. And then they throw another twist on us with Kumar.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck?
Like this story is full of these kind of twists, these kind of political twists. That was one of them that you don't expect. What?
Holy fuck. So Kumar is now become a loyal supporter of Bahu, follows him everywhere. And then he thinks that, there's going to be a plot to kill Bahu and his family. So he decides to follow the footsteps of this evil dude, this evil dad who tells him what to do. And then he ends up killing himself in the process of thinking he was saving Bahuli's unborn child. And then they say, you're just the one piece of wood in this fire of vengeance that we're putting up. So sad because we love Kumar. He's the funny guy. He's the guy who became a warrior. Why would you kill him like that? Like the emotions are running wild.
Can I just say something about Kumar? So when I first started like seeing this man on the screen at all, I thought he was the husband of that
Devasena.
Devasena. Okay, maybe it's a me problem. I'm sure it's a me problem. It's the subtitles. I'm telling you. Yeah. It's really hard to keep up with the story when you're seeing the subtitles.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh my God, are they going to have an affair? I already knew they're going to have a baby, a Bahubali II. But like, how are they going to do? I was like, they're going to have an affair and this king is going to be so mad. I thought Kumar was a king.
Okay.
It's just, I built a whole other story. And I was like, and I had this in mind, like a Judge Judy kind of thing, you know, that was
Who's
so
the
you are not the father. And then
Oh.
like some zoom in on the faces and then a collective gasp.
That could happen.
That could have been something. Rajamouli,
That
put me in the writer's room.
You know what? That is actually possible because we saw Bahubali was a female, like, kind of very good with women.
Okay.
We saw he was dancing with 3 ladies and going to smell one's neck, touch one's stomach. So we knew he was a ladies' man. That could have been the case. I love the romance better, though. I don't know. But
The thing is, like in the first one, he was a playboy, you know? And he's just raking around town like that with having threesomes. Not actually threesomes, foursomes.
Wow.
You count. And then...
Okay. Yeah, true. He counts part of it. Yeah.
Right. It's crazy. And then in the second movie, he's apparently turned into an innocent boy that is like lovesick and he goes after his love. Oh my God.
But she's
I
a
didn't
warrior.
buy that.
Okay. Well, I buy it because she is like exactly on his level. She is a queen who loves her people, who fights, and she's like super pretty and everything. And she loves him for who he is. Those ladies wanted the money. They were dancing under the
For
coin.
the coins.
Exactly. But she thinks he's a idiot blockhead and she thinks he can't even hold the sword. And she still prays for him and literally calls him Lord. when he's a nobody, like a dumb nephew.
Can I just say that I think even in that point, from his point of view, that wouldn't be a love that is lasting. Because like this woman, okay, imagine this. I'm pretending to be a dumbass person. I don't have any money, nothing to my name. And you still like me, it's because of my looks. You're superficial. Yeah.
That's so true.
So, okay.
Yeah, why would she like that guy? Like, only because he was tall and had good hair.
Right. There's no other reason.
So that's a great point right there. Or maybe she saw deep into his character. Like, she saw she could change him.
I still vote for the other.
That's so true. But let's say if we give the benefit of the doubt that it was real love and everything, wasn't it amazing how suddenly he's wearing a red outfit, super sexy, and he comes in with 3 bows, and she was trying to hit 2.
Yeah.
And she was struggling. So now he comes with 3, wow, back to back, hit another one, and she's just shocked. She can't even move or talk.
And he teaches her too. Okay.
Yes, good. And then they fight together. Whoa, what a romance! I thought that Avantika and Mahendra's relationship was beautiful in the first one because she's got the butterflies all over, and there's a dance that we analyzed deeply. Like, this is about every man and woman. Look, he came into her space. And now we saw this, and I'm thinking, this is what real love is.
That's true. That's so true. And also it shows that both Bahubalis, like father, like the son, they become so silly when it comes to love.
Yes.
They do crazy things. Why are they playing so much? They play games.
Seriously, just say your intentions, bro, and you will lock the deal.
He would have saved the
whole
whole
40
story.
minutes.
Everything would have been
I know,
saved.
literally, because of his games, everything went wrong. That's so true.
Oh my God, it's always been that, even in the first movie, Bahubali the first, he was, the one that was playing with
doing
the
the tattoo shop, business.
Oh, yeah, that one too, yes. Why? Like, imagine if he actually made his intentions clear. Like, I'm the king of Mahishmati, and
done.
I'm here to, like, he says that, and then
why did he do all that shit? I'm so angry, Rajamouli. What the fuck are you thinking?
Like, nobody would have been killed. Nothing would have happened.
But I guess there would be no drama. So, it's fair.
But to think that people make him a god like this, but he's just a silly little man.
When it comes to love, he will do anything. I love this shot of him. He feels the baby move, and then he starts playing this like fiddle or whatever. Wow, what good musical storytelling. So good. And that's the same scene that leads to Kumar's thinking that they're like falling into the ploy. God. So there's like some shots that are so emotionally rich. Like, another scene I wrote down that was super important is the baby shower that they have.
They have a baby shower? A gender reveal too?
Yeah. What do you mean? Where were you during this scene? So this is when these women are singing a song for her, and then she's waiting for everyone to bring gifts, Devasena. And she's waiting for the queen to come too. And during this one scene, we get so much information. Wall is also like super emotional. But so we learn that the king is going to fire Bahubali. The king is like, you should go stay with your wife. You are not going to be the commander anymore. This idiot dummy boy is going to be. And then the second piece is that Kumar is really loyal to them. He's brought this tiger that he killed. The father hears this, and that's when he schemes. And third is that the queen mother is such a like little bitch still. She just throws a tiny bit of thingy,
what
like some sugar, and she doesn't like hug this woman or anything. And last piece is, wow, Devasena says, you should become king. That's your destiny. What the fuck are you doing? So all these happen within one scene. Like, this director is even good at getting exposition out in an emotional way.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not really direct though, into your face kind of exposition.
Yeah, exactly.
Though, Devasena, like, this girl is so direct when it comes to this. Like, she just outright says that, oh, you should be the king. That's treason.
Yeah,
what? Are you crazy?
What is she thinking?
Yeah, you're putting not only yourself and the baby, but Bahubali in danger. Oh, you don't even count. Like,
That's
Baahubali?
so true.
What are you doing?
Because she's coming from a different kingdom where she was a princess.
Yeah.
I guess she doesn't know the customs of this land and how you should act. But that's so bad. Like, she did really put everyone in danger because of her arrogance. Yeah, too direct. Okay. What I love though is the comparison between the two kingdoms. So she is such a big deal in that white castle, but then you come in immediately, her flag gets broken under the mammoth elephant statue of Mahishmati. And they walk in, there's this whole stone
and they're
castle.
tiny compared to like the grand scale of the whole castle. I've watched a lot of historical movies, but I've never seen a castle this grand and beautiful and huge. This huge!
It's incredible.
How did they do this?
The visual effects are actually so good. Like, they're on the level of American movies that have billions. Like, they have millions of budgets.
Yeah.
I think the whole Bahubali 2 cost like 30 million to make, 40 million, something like so small. And the visuals look stunning. So real. Like, that castle, I buy that it's exactly.
It actually, they really developed it. It actually shows from Bahubali 1.
Yes, it
so
improved
much better.
So much. Even the first shot in Bahubali 1 is this like map of the waters, and it's like the most like 360p, so low quality. I can't believe they started the movie with that. Like, that's kind of wild.
You're right.
But then in this one, even people's jumping is more real, all the visual effects, everything.
That's true. In Bahubali 1, we start actually really dark. Like, even when it shows the movie, it's like a river, right? But it's dark. Everywhere is dark. It's cloudy. But then again, like in that Bahubali 2, it starts with a song. It actually starts with music. Oh, this is the thing about Bahubali 1. It had so much music. At every time they were just like singing, breaking out into songs.
And do you like that?
There weren't any memorable songs though in this.
Every time you say that, I'm like, Keeravani, you're disgracing his name. He made such good music. How dare you?
Listen, RRR, I loved it. Bahubali 1, oh my god, I've been dancing to the song non-stop, especially the girls dancing.
Really? Manohar. Something like that.
Yeah. All of their dance, everything is just amazing, like the music. You remember it.
Yeah, I've been literally running to that music, and it's made me so much faster.
Look at that.
So it's magical.
But the second, Bahubali the second. No, I don't remember anything other than the Bahubali one. Bahubali, something like that.
Bahubali.
But that's like too egotistic, so why would
But other people are singing it for him, He's not singing it for himself. And another strong part is like they keep saying this, Lord Ruta coming with his trident. They keep saying that. So that's another oral metaphor. Okay. I will say one thing. Usually this happens with part 2 of movies is they use a lot of the part 1 music because it's so iconic. So a lot of the best parts of this movie had the music from last time playing. Like, even when Bahubali gets killed, it's the song from last time. Other themes come in. And so there's like 2 or 3 new songs here. Not when you look at the album, even for the first one, there's like 10 songs, but here there's only 5. So they're using a lot of the first, and maybe that's why the first one is now even more ingrained into you because you're hearing it again in a different movie. Whereas the second one, you've only heard this one time in the movie. But it is such good music. Like Keeravani, he's, John Williams, of course. He made the song music for Jaws and Harry Potter and Star Wars and everything.
Yeah.
This is like another John Williams, seriously. He's one of those composers that really speaks to me, especially.
No, that's definitely the case. Like, as I've said, like with other movies, and it usually grows on me. So when I watched Bahubali 1, I said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I think you're sick of me now. Like, you repeat yourself
listen to
all
it
the time.
again. Yeah, listen to it like maybe 6 times each.
I said like RRR was so good. The music was amazing. I remember it. But Bahubali 1, no. There was not one memorable music. And then here's me 1 week later. Just loving Bahubali 1, claiming the same thing. So probably a week later, we'll see what happens.
Exactly. I will ask you again.
Okay.
This is the kind of music that you have to listen to over and over, and then it keeps getting deeper into your...
Oh.
Like, it was so good that I started learning Hindi just so I could understand. Even though
What
it's
did
not
you
even
learn?
Hindi. It's in...
Oh, there's
Telugu.
so many words that I hear in this movie, and I love that.
I've been taking 3 days of Hindi lessons, and that led me to know exactly one word in this movie.
Mm-hmm. What?
TK. TK means all right. So,
All right?
so the queen was
TK.
like, TK.
TK, okay.
Like, go do whatever the heck you want. So I was like,
TK.
oh my God, my lessons are paying off. I know one word.
Oh, man. The only thing I know is like the Arabic and Persian words. There was one I heard, Nazar. We know
Exactly.
that.
They use chaplusi. That
Chaplusi, I loved it. That's purely Persian. I don't think it's Arabic at all. Chaplusi means like sucking up to the authorities.
Oh, by the way, while we're on the topic of things we noticed, I'll tell you. So last week I told you that Bhalla never blinks. This man, he just did, I don't know what's up with him. He never blinks. His eyes are always wide open.
What
so
about
I
now?
started counting this one
Okay.
to see if he blinks. He did blink exactly 2 times in the movie.
How is this possible?
Wow.
There are so many, actually more shots of him in this movie than the first one.
Yeah, for real.
What is this actor doing? I think something is
Yeah.
wrong with him.
What? That's a big choice. And I was thinking, like, what the fuck is going on? So I searched up, like, what's up with this actor? What's up with Rajamouli? And then
He's autistic or something. Like, what's going on?
But then I started to notice, like, most actors don't blink that much, actually. So I think it's something to do with Rajamouli. He's not into blinking. And then I actually found a clip online.
It's his turn off.
Yes. I found a clip of Rajamouli himself not blinking while like an
did you
award was going on. I was like, does Rajamouli hate blinking? Question mark. And then this video was like, look at Rajamouli not even blink once while he's at this award show. And
Whoa,
like a
other people
40-second
noticed
video.
too, and they're like made even clip of it.
Yeah, that's so weird to not blink. Like, blinking is good. Rajamouli, please blink. Let your eyes get some break. But this guy, Bhalla, the only time he blinked was when he became king. So when they put the crown on his head. And one other time, maybe like when Baahubali died or when sometime I remember.
Oh, it's actually so deliberate too, apparently.
Exactly.
It's like some emotional moment.
Yeah,
It's like trying to refresh.
I can't imagine how they filmed it because sometimes it's just like 40 seconds on him.
Yeah.
But imagine they used all the shots ever that he never blinks. And then it kind of shows like this man never closed his eyes until the moment that the crown was already on his head. Like that's how determined he was to get the crown.
Oh. Or maybe it was on a slow motion. The whole movie was shot on slow motion.
I don't think so. Because he's talking sometimes, right?
That's true. But there were so many slow motions in this movie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He loves slow motion.
Slow-mo.
I love slow motion because of him.
Oh, and you know, this guy, this is a hot take. He was a hot man too.
He was so hot. I was so
What is that?
conflicted while I was watching this.
God damn.
The way he stands too all the time with his little chest out, his big chest.
Okay.
And he's like super muscly and super evil.
Oh, the one that's not covered.
Yeah.
I see.
Ooh. I like that a lot.
And then when he takes everything off at the end.
Oh, and he's a
Don't get
50-year-old
burned,
dude.
you're too hot.
I know. And he's like, how dare you break my back? Or how dare you break my like armor?
Whoa.
And I was just like, Baahubali, he's
you
gonna
did
break your
right.
back next. Yeah. Now I like seeing this. Exactly.
Damn.
And you know, he's like a whole meme too, because
Easy.
everything he does is so silly if you think about it. Like he has that turning device. What's it called? The lawnmower.
Oh my god, the high technology
High-tech.
Tesla self-driving car. That is like,
driving, like it's so functional, multifunctional. It throws arrows too at the
Right.
same time. And then I noticed like at some point in the battle, his crown comes off. His hair is like all over the place, and he's like, "Okay, let me just tie my hair back before we get into battle."
he ties his hair.
He does, so that's when he gets serious.
Ooh,
He is so
that's some feminine.
yeah, I know.
Thing. It's so hot. It's masculine. It's feminine. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
But he's super evil. You know when I knew he was evil? When he hit his brother after Bahubali was already dead. That was the one moment.
Why did you remind me?
That was horrible.
That was
He
so
can't be
bloodthirsty.
redeemed after that.
Yeah.
Like, up to that point, even you can say he was so jealous. Okay. But then he does.
That's the worst part. I did not expect that. It was like some American psychological horror thing. I don't know. I was just reminded of like these murder kind of movies. Why did he do this with an axe?
That's awful. What kind of rage do you have in you to be doing something
I'm
like
just glad they didn't show what happened to him exactly. Yeah.
that was so respectful to just show his face, and his face looks calm. That's what we like to see. And even a moment before, when Bahubali is already killed,
Yeah.
he's about to die, but he gets his sword and sits up like a king, and that his last moment is so proud and kind of full of honor.
Yeah.
And that's how he dies. It doesn't matter that they defile him after that.
Actually, I really love Bahubali the original Bahubali, because he's a man that doesn't react really, and he's not affected by what other people say or do to him. Like, no outside force could like change his values and his emotions and his decision making at all. Like, they say you're the king, he's like, okay.
Exactly.
You're not the king the next day.
Here's my sword. Yeah.
All right.
And he lives with so much honor wherever he is. So even if he's in the mountains doing like physical labor, he is like more of a god than this Bhalla with all his gold around him.
That's true.
So I would love to live with this much respect for myself and others. Like, that's amazing.
Exactly. This much respect for yourself. That's such a good point. That's what we have to go for. Think about. I love that. Like, this is what I all want in my life. Like, I think I would be fulfilled if a day comes that I would not react to anything that anybody says. That everybody would do anything, and I would like, all right, I guess that's how it is.
That's exactly how he was.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even for a second think about, oh, I'm not going to be the commander anymore. Okay, it is what it is. Like, next thing for me.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful and so different.
And his son is not like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, he reacts.
Yeah. What I love is showing the difference between the two, though, because his son has potential to be like that, not be a reactor, but he's so young right now, and
that's true.
He's just learned all this horrible history.
Yeah.
That I love they really differentiate between the two. It's not just like, oh, that's a reincarnation.
Yeah.
That's a guy for himself.
That's so true. That's so true.
Now, okay, one thing before we get to the most rewarding moment. Do you remember when Mahendra becomes an engineer?
What?
Actually, Bahubali becomes an engineer. I'm wrong.
When?
He's just sitting with the people of the country, and he's like, okay, let me just pull out my papers and my drafting material, and he's got the ruler, and he designed the whole material thing.
Yeah, after he's like...
After he gets banished. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, he builds this water machine where you pull a rope and then a boat gets filled. Do you remember there was like some children in front of him?
Yes.
What did you think about that scene? Real quick, like when you saw there was children.
You're trying to like trick me into like some symbols and stuff. The children represent.
What did you think when you first saw it? Because when I first saw it, like I thought, oh, why are you using children? Like, why? The children are getting hurt. It's too much labor. But what did you think?
He's teaching them. I don't know. He's just like trying to teach them from an early age, or it's like he himself, like when his mother taught him stuff when he was really young. Maybe that.
Exactly. I think it's that too. But also it's like it shows how much strength he has compared to the other side. I didn't think I saw it 3 times until I realized that. But on the one rope is 12 strong men. Kumar is one of them. And then on the other rope is Bahubali and 3 kids. So it shows like those kids aren't carrying anything. They're just practicing, like learning how to be. But this one Bahubali has the strength of 12 men. That's so amazing.
Strength of a dozen, man. That's so cool.
For real, he has
so mythical.
Mashallah. I really like that guy.
Right.
Okay, super rewarding moment is when Bahubali very sadly gets killed by Kattapa. Kattapa comes, his sword on the ground, pulling it up. He can't even lift his sword up anymore.
That is very rewarding. I love that.
That's so tragic. Even my father was like, why did they do that?
Oh no.
But he comes in and he makes the woman's hand, queen's hand, bloody with the blood of his son.
Oh God.
And during this moment,
Kattapa.
after he explains, you did wrong, queen, the queen remembers all of Bahubali's life in a flash of what she told Bahubali as a kid to now what she actually gave him. And it's so beautifully edited that I had to write it down. So the song that she's singing says, I am your mother, and the visual that we see is a dead Bahubali on the ground. Oh. How can you show these two together? That's so visually strong.
Wow.
And
that's cruel for the audience.
This is like, there's no dry eye in the room for this scene. Even my dad, who famously has never cried, he was like, I saw it. Aww. And then it's the song is, let me hide you in my arms, and the picture is her bloody hand of how she killed him.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps.
So
what
horrible.
The fuck?
I know.
Just you describing it.
I know. He's super helpless. This baby in Kattapa's hand, and the song says, Uncle Kattapa, he is your protector. This is the hand that's going to kill Bahu, you know? And here he is again helpless in the uncle's hand. And then it says, the words are, with your brother Bhalla by your side. And it shows the two of them together as children, where we know Bhalla is the one who kills you. Bro, it's so sad. Tragic. And then
all three of them killed this man.
Exactly. And to think like this was the lullaby that she was singing to Bahu as a child when she was a baby. And now she sees what she's done. So it would be cut back to her face when she realizes her mistake. And then at the end she says, lie quietly, my child, and weave beautiful dreams. And that's him dead again. They show him dead.
Oh God.
Such strong storytelling within this 1 minute. It's like actually touching the gold, storytelling gold. It's the best.
It's with music and like these compositions of these shots and like the editing, as well as the actors that are just like putting everything into this, especially Kattapa. Like really surprisingly, he is so affected by all this, and he's like, his hands are bloody but he hasn't washed them, so he goes to the queen mother and like touches them, and a very touching scene. Like that's such a strong statement that he's making right now, that your hands are now bloody too. And you know, the thing is, even though these are all like the consequences of what the queen did, and this is horrible, but I really love the queen's arc just because of how realistic it is. Because like when you are in power like that, that's what happens. Your ego is always like if it gets hit, you try to destroy people. And we saw that in so many movies that we've recently talked about. Alexander and Bahubali 1. Bahubali the second, like all of these movies, we see that when you are in power, you become so fragile. Your ego becomes fragile. You become sensitive, even though you have this front of being this really mighty ruler. But actually, you are so fragile, and whatever somebody says that is like contradicts what you want to happen or your opinion, you try to destroy them. You want to get rid of them. That's just the quality of this position of power. And that was shown so beautifully and so smoothly with this, because as you say, we started the movie with a queen that loves Bahubali so much. She's the one that in the first Bahubali, I was actually like, why is she favoring Bahubali so much instead of the other guy? Like, she's spoiling this man. And then in the second one, you see the transition. It's so seamless that you don't even realize.
Yes, her arc in that also, she loves her baby that she built in her stomach. So like when he has a cut on his face, she loses her mind. Like her queendom goes out of the window, and now she's just a mother affected. And these things make her make such decisions that she will regret later. They really showed her emotional side well. She wasn't the archetype at all. She was a real woman. And then they completed her arc by also her falling completely from grace to this woman's feet, the woman who she was so mean to the entire time, now when she realizes her flaw, she's not afraid to fall down and accept her mistake. And that makes her first lines in the first movie so emotionally strong, because she says, for all the sins I've committed in this life, if death is my only remorse, then let me get killed. And I heard that and I was like, oh my god, this woman is such a good lady. Like, what sins could you have committed? Then here you find out, oh god, the worst sin, you killed this baby's father unjustly. But her arc is complete when she does actually fall and she apologizes. That's huge, like for a woman of this ego level.
Exactly. Somebody that, as you say, like has been nothing but mean to that bride, and for her to be at her feet. We know the significance of feet in this movie, in this franchise in general. Oh, actually, I had some comments as well. She has some nasty feet. Just wanted to throw this out there. I don't know.
Yeah,
the first shots
one
I
of
saw
my notes was also like, why we showing his feet so much? The
it's
Baahubali
some fetish, I think. What?
And the feet are everywhere. Like Devasena's feet are in the painting, super prominent. It is, I guess, a sign of like, you get to see the most personal side of this character.
Yeah.
You can't see anyone's foot unless you're close to them, or you're in their house, or you're like something. So probably that's one
and
thing.
also it's like the lowest part of every human. So like
it's the most humanly part, probably.
Yeah, because like if your legs get cut off, you can still live, right? And it's always like during history and in different religions, feet has been depicted as this thing that is like the lowest part. Like if you put your feet on somebody's head, that's huge. That's a huge deal. And that's what she does, right? She's like bowing to her feet, defeated practically. So and
that leads to another huge emotional moment, which is Kattapa also putting the baby's foot over his head.
Yeah,
that's so strong, because fucking this Kattapa guy killed his dad like not even an hour ago. That's so
he is a dog.
Yeah,
he is literally a dog.
So horrible. And the way that they built this up, how Devasena said, bring back Kattapa no matter what. He promised to hold our child. How he said, I'm just a slave. You want me to be your child's grandfather. You know, all these like little seconds built up to now the child's head is over my head. And then the child's head in the adult life will also be over my head. That's right. So good. So well made.
Do you think like you could trust somebody like that, Kattapa, after this?
Kattapa is
once
like
a cheater, always a cheater.
I know. He was so weird, because even by the end, he wasn't willing to go over this like moral that he has, which is I have to be right to the king. So we thought he was, oh my god, are you gonna go towards the evil king side? And he says, no, psych, the baby is the king, as the queen said. So are you saying that if the baby wasn't the king, you would listen to this evil guy still?
Yeah, he is. Being a slave is not a choice, obviously. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. Literally, if you have a slave mindset, that's how you're gonna live no matter what, even if you're free. Like most people are slave practically. But he is that. He's just a dog of whoever the owner is.
I know. Why doesn't he make his real decisions? But one time he makes a decision is when he says to the queen, you were wrong.
Yeah. Thank
God he did that one thing. And then after that, like, he's just this weird guy. Like, he's so strong.
And
he's
after
like,
all this
trustworthy.
loyalty, like, God forbid if one of these people in power actually free this fucking man.
Oh, he's coming for you.
Why would you do that? Like, you're the king and the queen and like the prince and all of that. But like,
why not free him for real?
Yeah.
And he likes you guys. He will stay and work for you.
I know. And then you also say that he's the grandfather of the godfather of that, and you're not willing to free this man. I don't know. Okay.
So that's a weird part. Yeah, Rajamouli, what are you thinking out there?
Wow.
I don't know. Kattapa is a weirdo. I don't trust that dude.
I've written boy moms so much into this. It's crazy.
I've written Bhalla. What's that armor bro's wearing? Cat eyes on his armor? What is that? Remember
Cat eyes?
the very last armor he wears before he breaks it?
Yeah.
Is this like cat face, 2 red eyes, the nose, and it's like
Ooh.
that is not that can't be
Coquette.
It's so coquette. It's like so fabulous. Like why are you wearing that into a battlefield?
Whoa.
That's not even real. Like
so
it,
cunty.
it looked like it looked like a children's toy. Like it did not look real.
Why would you?
Even though like the whole movie is so good, you know. But
Dang.
so I had to write that down. Like, what are they thinking?
You know, in the first Bahubali movie, we said that it resembled Lion King and Simba and everything. This one actually was so much more like that, like the whole Simba reference. Well, you know, the uncle that is evil, yes, and then the baby holding, of course, all of that. He really, really reminds me of, was it Oscar, the name of the evil Lion King? Was it Oscar or something like
doubt
that?
it.
No?
Simba and then Scar.
Scar! Oscar! Wow.
Oscar cat. Probably watched the Persian dub on that
Yeah,
one.
probably. But yeah, Scar, he's so dark, right? Like,
Yeah,
even his
he looks
appearance.
like-
But they look so similar. Like I
They've
feel
got the
like-
white line,
yeah,
the beardy.
and like the eyes and everything just looks so similar to each other that I'm like, yeah, they're so.
I love that you always compare movies to animations. That's
Because
so useful.
I'm a child inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But, this is just like Megamind and Shrek 4, by the way.
Because those are the best movies ever. Megamind, wonderful. Like nothing can compare to that.
Megamind is a
Shrek-
good one.
And again, I'm gonna make another Shrek reference here with saying that no better sequel has been made since Shrek. Like, I don't think ever.
Oh, what about Bahubali 2?
Bahubali 2 is not a good sequel. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. I disagree. After my 3 times of watching this movie, I think it's better than Shrek. How dare you?
Shrek 2? Nothing
Yeah.
compares to that.
Okay, well, I think one day we should do Shrek just so I can like start pinpointing every issue with that movie and go deep into like my hatred for the cinematic universe.
I'm just excited that Shrek 5 is coming
Oh
out.
God,
so-
God help me. Okay, maybe we'll do all the Shrek movies before that comes out.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing. I wrote down the final battle between these two. The arrows, the 2 like things that they have when it comes and hits each other, and then Bahubali's breaks his. Did you see that moment?
Oh, that shot is crazy.
That shot is so crazy because as they're holding it, the audience is like, yeah, hit it. I want to see how you're going to hit it. And then they go into a close-up and like show actually exactly how it breaks from the inside.
Yeah.
It's like even above your expectation. of
Even
what they'll
before
show.
that, it's so beautiful. So it's like one moment that you see both of their, I don't know, are they like
They're
some
on the carriage.
stuff? Yeah. It's like clashing, right? But the angle of the camera is so crazy. Like it's from here and then Bahubali is on top with that. And then that man is also from here. Like it's so good. And then they hit each other. Like that hits.
That's based on a famous statue from India that they recreated.
Really?
So that's a great idea. We should do that. Like recreate statues.
Yeah. Sure.
But it works so well.
Paintings, statues, especially if they're like based on a story or something already. It's like half of your job is done.
Yes, for real. Recreating paintings. That's so
Yeah.
true. And then next, in another part, this man Bhalla is trying to pull out Bahu's heart with his bare fingers.
I was like
That's
this when I
horrible.
watched that. I felt so bad.
Oh God. And right before that, he's put a rock into Bahu's hand. Bro, that's not good. Like, are you crucifying
How
him?
can humans possibly do that? We can't do this shit.
Like,
we can't.
hit it in, and we can't handle the pain when it
Girl,
gets
can
hit.
you with your bare hands get somebody's
Oh.
heart out? He actually like totally scratched like dug deep in.
Ah, I was bleeding from
Yeah.
under every finger. I don't know.
The thing is, like Bahubali, the son, is like not as strong as his father.
Yeah, not
That's-
yet.
Not yet, yeah. But like his dad was the same age, wasn't he?
That's true. They describe Bahubali as he goes into battle and returns with no scar. So that's the kind of guy he is. Definitely we saw Mahendra got a lot of scars on him.
Wow.
He's getting scars left and right. Like when he gets an arrow to the chest as he's about to jump up, that was such a beautiful thing to show because we've gone the whole movie seeing Bahu do the craziest things and fight an army of 100,000. But then we see, okay, even his son is not super safe from the scars.
But it's not consistent with the second Bahubali because there he wasn't getting that much hit like in battles. Right? The son.
Yeah, afterwards, after that arrow, after that he didn't get hit that much. So probably he also realized, like, I should think like my father. I should be more smart instead of emotional. So it worked for him.
Wow, yeah. So yeah, I was like, why is the battle dragging so much? Like, it wasn't going to finish just because he was not that strong. Like, he wasn't as strong as his dad. That's why it was like so long. But also it was rewarding, you know? As you say, like a good evil character is just so good to have because if they are like equal on the level of their strength, it's going to be worth the watch. Like the conflict is so worthy.
Yes, and at the same time, though, it was too short. Like you say, it was too long, but it was only the last 30 minutes of the movie where we come to present time and Mahendra is going to go fight. And it was so like sudden. Oh, he's not going to have any doubts. He's going to go immediately into battle, kill the guy, become king, and then the stamp comes up. The movie ends. Like that was still so fast. Like, I would watch a whole other movie just for that second part or like what's going to happen after. How is they going to go forward? Tell me everything.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, like, but talk about this. Like, when he's actually fighting with his uncle, isn't that a little bit long? Like, he should have ended the uncle so much quicker, I feel like.
I would say the length worked for me because we've been building up to this since the minute the story began. Yeah. And this is the biggest villain. And their strength is so similar. That guy, he can break an arrow with just one finger. What? That's crazy. Like the arrow that's been killing people left and right. So it would be so difficult, even though Mahendra is so strong.
I think this man, Bhalla, has really trained himself during these years just because of this fear probably that he had that one day. I mean, I think he knew that the son died, right? Something like that. But like he always had this fear or something, or like he always felt overshadowed by Bahubali even after he died. That he's like, I have to prove my strength and everything. Probably he trained really hard after that.
He was training with that oxen too during that time. And they never showed his wife. Like, how did he have that son, do you think?
He had a son?
Yeah, the guy who got his head got cut off.
That was his son?
Yeah, where have you been, lady?
I know, right? I should do it the same way as you do. Watch it twice or thrice. Or
thrice is the way to go.
Yeah.
But that was the son. That was like, that's why he was so upset when he was holding this.
Man? Who is this head? He's lost over here. I didn't know who it was. Yeah, probably some general or something.
In the first movie, I thought that was his husband. Like, I thought he was gay.
Like Alexander.
Yeah. Oh. Right. And then, though, he said, my son, my son.
Oh, okay.
So
wow. So that's, I don't know how.
I don't know how to feel.
Surrogate mother or something.
Yeah, I know. Like, they could have at least shown the wife. But no, they only show, like, he has this weird obsession with Devasena where he wants her to suffer. Yes. He wants her to love him. What is he doing?
That's right. You know, I was convinced that he actually didn't feel anything for this girl and just wanted to, just because of Bahubali. He wanted to get Devasena. But like at the end of the movie, you see it. Like he's desperate for this woman. He's just obsessed with her. What is it? Even though she's like really old now and he's super handsome, like he could do better. But
that's true. But he doesn't even want, like, I guess he wants her to love him, but he gets satisfaction even when she gets hurt. So like if somebody slaps him and he's like, oh, I love that. Like, that's a scene. That's a real shot. So it's some kind of kinky.
Yeah, it is.
He likes that kind of thing.
Oh, but yeah. So that's one thing probably. And he always probably had hope that one day she would turn around and love him too. something.
Well, he's so stupid. He's putting her in a cage, and she's under the sun all day, and then he's like, "Come die with me. Don't you love me? We've been together 25 years. No, give me a room in the castle. Like, do something for me before you say that."
And apparently she was the most beautiful girl the moment he saw the picture of this girl. Like,
that's when he went evil, actually.
Yeah.
Full on.
Oh, wait, there was a moment in the movie that like a message came. Oh, yes. You know, when Bahubali was like, fought everybody in the kingdom of that princess, and then the message came with an eagle or something. And he opened it, and the girl was like, Devasena was like, "Who's that?" Like, I was like, okay.
This bitch. Let it be one date later. Before you ask.
Exactly. It's like women have always been this way from dawn of humanity. The moment men learn how to write and there could be exchange some messages, women have been nosy into like, who's that? Who's this? Yeah.
So real.
They've always been nosy about the DMs that men get. Whoa. Crazy.
And she was, though, like, she forgets any goodness that's done to her, and she's like so stingy sometimes. So he saved your whole kingdom, 100,000 people, and now he says, "Come to my kingdom," and she's like, "I won't come with you until you tell me who you are, and I will never become your slave." Go become the slave. Like, this guy saved your whole castle. He saved your life. He could have just left you.
Yeah.
But, like, put your pride aside, girl.
She has so much pride. That's true. That's why. And then there was another scene with them, like when they first meet. They're kind of like fight. No. They're playing hide and seek somehow. They're fighting. They're doing something like that. What is it? I wrote it. Oh, yeah. She's fighting for her life while he's playing hide and seek. What is that? What is that scene?
Is that the first fight? Because so. I wouldn't say he's playing hide and seek, but she's fighting a bunch of bandits, and he's like distractedly fighting, where he keeps thinking about her and like smiling and hitting this and that.
Right. That damn smile.
Yeah, and I love how they keep cutting back to him, and he's like, like he loves what he sees. And then his hair keeps blowing back. Like, they use hair so much for emotion.
They use a lot of blow dryers. That is true.
It's so good though, because it's like, okay, she hits one sword, and then it's his face like, that's good. And then one sword, and that's pretty good. So you actually fall in love at the same time.
But do you think men like that fall in love for warrior women?
If they're also that pretty, like she was wearing all her jewelry, she had her full face of makeup, pink dress, and then she was warrior.
Yeah, definitely. But like, if she was in her pajamas, like wearing pants like that,
her mustache growing out, no. So you should be perfect first before you become a warrior.
That's true. Because like, this man is hyper masculine, right? So would he be attracted to a masculine woman too?
We don't know.
I guess we'll never know.
But this movie is unbelievable, one of a kind. I wrote volcanic emotions, awe-inspiring action, unforgettable characters, mind-bending music, and divinely charged experience that you should get firsthand again and again and again.
Mind-bending is such a cool adjective. Mind-bending music. It's like bend you over and like banged you like that. It's banging music. I see.
It definitely Wait, I said mind-bending.
Mind-bending,
okay,
right? It's like the music bend
your mind. Yeah.
Over and like banged you. Okay.
God. The music is in my head. It's like
Okay, that's memorable. I do remember that.
That's so memorable.
Yeah.
Oh God,
you're right.
It's like religiously. So
that's right.
So amazing. So if you haven't seen Bahubali this year, watch it again. If you haven't seen it this week, watch it again. Like, I'm so obsessed. It's not safe. I don't feel good. Like, I'm so in love with this movie.
You're jittery and like so high. And that's also what I wrote here when I was watching, especially that scene of that romantic scene. I said, I feel so high. I feel just, everything is just so high. It's so fantastical. The colors, everything's coming to me. Like, they're flying, they're dancing, the music, everything. Just, and it's so fantastical that it's like, I don't feel myself.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm on cloud 9.
It's so fantastical. The only downside is that life pales in comparison after you come out.
Oh my god.
So that's not good because you
Right.
kind of want movies to invigorate your sense of being alive.
Yes.
But once you watch this, like, life can't compare. So that's one bad thing. But
You know why the reason is? Because it's like a drug. As I said, like you feel high, right? So then eventually you're going to have the crash. Come down, and then everything's gonna be boring
Right.
as hell.
But
You're
it's
addicted.
a drug that you should try at least once. The whole
Yeah.
Bahubali sequence.
You should try every
saga.
drugs, kids, at least once. That's
the
good.
drug of Indian Telugu SS Rajamouli cinema is one I would recommend.
Right.
It's
This
so
man,
incredible.
I love him. I love him.
I love him too. So every single movie of his is coming eventually to the podcast, peppered throughout the next few months.
Yeah.
I'll make sure of that, especially Iga. Okay, especially the fly one.
I look forward to that and how the logic plays out or the lack thereof.
There's so much logic.
Yeah.
All logical. And we've got so many amazing recommendations from you that we're working through. I kind of like
Angle, PK.
yes, PJK. Okay,
No,
you
PK.
Cut that part out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Literally hundreds of recommendations, and I, like, deep in my heart kind of want to just go back to back, do all of these movies.
Yeah.
And then there's other recommendations that we're getting that are non-Indian, so we kind of like would balance between the two.
Exactly.
But there's just so many, and I can't wait to get more and more and learn Hindi and then understand what they're saying and learn Telugu eventually and be able to get like even deeper level of appreciation for these.
Yeah, because if you know the language, can you imagine right now you get the message and everything and you enjoy it this much? But if you knew the language, the culture, every context, there is a social context. Whoa, you would be getting everything from this movie, every little drop of its vitamins.
Exactly. That's why it's precious to learn
Your
culture.
cells would like absorb every little thing. Yeah. If you learn that, if you learn the language, that would be good. It would actually help us to like, it's the root of so many languages as well. Especially it would be good for Persian too.
Exactly.
For our Persian.
So thank you for watching. Follow along on our journey of learning to speak this language as well as getting immersed into the world of Rajamouli and further Indian cinema.
Yes.
By the way, this was the first pan-Indian film. We didn't even talk about the context. We just talked about the story the whole time. But this was the first film that traveled from one part of India to all the other parts. Previous to that, it would be like a Bollywood movie would be popular in Bollywood. Tollywood only in this like Telugu area. But this film gone all over India for the first time. It did that. And then it also went over the world.
Wow,
For the
that's
first time.
crazy. Especially like imagine the population that India has.
Right.
Already it's like half of the world.
It's
so
exactly
if it's
like-
popular
yeah.
there, like it's done. It's like,
That's so true. That's so true. They don't even need anyone else to watch it. And it's all just like Bahubali the movie where there's Mahishmati. It's huge.
Yeah.
But then there's so many other kingdoms and things going on that are completely unrelated to the king. Like they don't even know of the king's existence.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, imagine the movie was Mahishmati, but then it traveled all over India and everyone watched it and loved it. And it became the highest grossing Indian film ever. Holy.
the second one?
Yeah.
Wait
They
a
deserve that.
minute. Are you serious? I thought the fans liked the first movie better and like it did better.
The second one, probably because they loved the first so much, everyone went to watch it. So it became the highest grossing when it came out.
Just like Dune 2, something like that.
Yeah, but I would say, just like Dune 2, this is a better movie than Bahubali 1.
I see.
Even though the critics, they lied. They told me that the second one is not going to be good, so I went in with some expectations.
Yeah.
And then thank God, I was blown away. It was so
That's
good.
good. Yes. I thought it was going to be so much worse. As I said that even like it was not as good as the first one. But no, I see it. It's like it kind of grows on you. It's on your mind. That's what it is. Like every aspect of your life gets affected by it. I've been thinking about this movie the whole week. So what does that say about it? Right?
Exactly. It's strong, it's beautiful. Thank you for recommending it.
Thank
And let us
you.
know other movies that you have that are similar in taste, style, fantastical, historical, emotional, and action based, as well as other any film that's good and is emotional. We would love to.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
Thank
we
you.
love you guys, and we will continue to talk about all your favorite movies. And please subscribe to our
Plots.
channels. Yes.
Subscribe, thank
to
you.
become a pal. Let's
Become a pal, and
Yeah.
we'll see you on the Instagram, on the TikTok, on the YouTube, especially, and hopefully Spotify soon. What are we doing?
Yeah, I
know,
we'll
right?
say
On
this
the podcast.
but like,
Platform.
yeah. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.